Vader's suit has many horrific and disturbing elements to it that you would never even know were there unless you took a deeper look into the lore of the Star Wars mythos and really analyzed exactly how someone like Darth Vader could endure such a devastating encounter and then be able to return and function following. Simply by watching the films, many of the most disturbing and painful elements of Vader's suit and cybernetics are completely glanced over, such as the fact that Vader's vocal cords are so damaged that even by speaking without the aid of his helmet, it causes him excruciating pain and is nearly impossible. And yet, the Sith Lord Darth Vader is one of the most powerful characters we have ever seen in the history of the Star Wars galaxy. Today though, I wanted to touch on one of the most disturbing elements of Vader's suit, and in the following days, we will be releasing several videos that detail the most horrific and nightmare-inducing elements of Darth Vader's cybernetics. For starters, I wanted to begin with the most painful part of Darth Vader's suit, that being his cybernetics. In order to use his cybernetics properly, Darth Vader had to undergo several surgeries without anesthetics that would scar the Dark Lord for the rest of his existence. In order for Vader to use his cybernetics properly, including his fingers and legs, he needed them to be connected to his brain. What this meant is that medical droids had to open up the skull and spine of Vader and surgically insert neural needles into them. Without these, Vader would be forced to manipulate his cybernetics only by using the Force, which was possible, but at the same time extremely taxing. So taxing in fact that Vader could only do so for a very limited amount of time. Unfortunately for Vader, these neural needles were also not a permanent part of the Dark Lord, as they were attached to the interior of Vader's helmet. What this meant is that every time Vader put on his helmet, these needles would again attach to Vader's skull in order to connect with his brain, and also connect with Vader's spine in order to connect his brain functions to the rest of his body. What this surgery essentially did was allow Vader to use his cybernetics just as he would normal limbs, as they were controlled by the functionality of his brain. Nonetheless though, in order to do this, each time Vader put on his helmet, the needles would be forcefully inserted into the head and neck of the Dark Lord. Because of this, Vader could also feel pain within his cybernetics, as we saw in Return of the Jedi when Luke Skywalker cuts the Dark Lord's hand off. Despite being extremely advanced, the process was also imperfect. Because they were not his real limbs and the connection was imperfect, his cybernetics would often snag on his living tissue, and each time they snagged, Vader's entire body would be jolted with intense pain. But that was the most painful aspect of Darth Vader's suit, and how every time he had to put on his helmet, painful needles would be inserted into his brain and neck. Stay tuned tomorrow as we explore another dark and lesser known aspect of the legendary Sith Lord's armor. And leave in the comments below what you think of this little detail and the fact that this is how Darth Vader connected with his cybernetics. Again,
May the Force be with you and have a great day.